When you look at a plant, what do you really see? I mean, something green, maybe, pretty, but probably, well, just kind of there, right? Silent, still. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Not even close. Today, we're going to peel back the leaves and uncover a world that's so much more active and way more intelligent than you could ever imagine. So let's just start with a kind of wild question to get us going. What if plants are listening? Not to us chatting away, but to the world around them in ways we've just completely overlooked. To even wrap our heads around that, we have to completely rethink what it means to sense something. See, plants have this incredibly rich sensory life. It's just happening on a level that we're not really tuned into. And yep, that actually includes a form of hearing. Now, get this. It's not about sound waves and eardrums. It's about vibrations. Some research has shown that plants can actually feel the very specific munching vibrations of a caterpillar on their leaves. And the moment they hear that, wham, they kick their chemical defenses into high gear. It's this amazing, targeted survival instinct. But their senses go way beyond just that. I mean, some flowers have these invisible ultraviolet patterns on them. They're basically landing strips for bees. And the roots, they're not just growing randomly. They're actively searching for water. And they can even smell the air for chemical clues, kind of tasting the world around them. So, okay, plants are sensing their world, but they don't just keep that information to themselves. They talk about it. And to understand how, we have to go underground, into this secret social network that's humming right beneath our feet. The key to this whole thing is something called the mycorrhizal network. And really, you can just think of it as nature's internet. It's this huge, complex web of fungi that physically connects the roots of different plants, sometimes linking up an entire forest. And this just brilliantly shows how collaborative plants can be. Through this fungi internet, a big, healthy tree that's getting lots of sun can send extra food, like carbon, over to a smaller, shaded neighbor that's struggling. It's not just survival of the fittest, it's a real community support system. But it's not just about sharing resources. This network can also be a lifeline, a high-speed alarm system. And believe it or not, the warnings aren't just sent underground, they're broadcast right through the air. Okay, so here's how it works. Picture this. A plant is getting attacked by bugs. It immediately releases this little puff of chemical signals into the air. It's basically a distress call. Its neighbors can actually detect these signals, and before the bugs even get to them, they start pumping up their own defenses to make themselves less delicious. It's a neighborhood watch for plants. Now, this level of communication shows us plants aren't just passively reacting to stuff, they're coordinating. And that hints at something even more complex, individual plants pulling off some seriously cunning strategies to get by. Oh yeah, let's talk about deception. Some kinds of orchids are absolute masters of it. To get pollinated, they've evolved to perfectly mimic the look and even the smell of a female insect. So a hopeful male insect comes along, tries to mate with the flower, and oops, he just gets covered in pollen, which he then carries to the next tricky orchid. It's a brilliant strategy, if a little cruel. And then there's this incredible actor, the resurrection plant. During a long drought, it doesn't just wilt. Nope, it completely dries out and curls up into this brittle, dead-looking ball. I mean, you'd swear it was a goner. But just add a little water and, within hours, it unfurls, turns green, and just roars back to life. Talk about playing dead. Sensing, communicating, even deceiving, that's all incredible stuff. But where we're going now, this touches on the very edge of what we even define as intelligence. We're going to look at plants that can actually remember. So meet a star of the plant world, the Mimosa pudica, or the touch-me-not plant. You know this one. It famously curls up its leaves when you touch it. But scientists discovered that if you repeatedly and harmlessly drop the plant, after a few tries, it just stops reacting. It learns the drop isn't a threat. This isn't just the plant getting tired, it's a learned behavior. And what's totally mind-blowing, it can hold on to that memory for weeks. And this ability to remember isn't just about short-term learning. Think about it on a much, much grander scale. Archaeologists have found ancient seeds, some of them over 2,000 years old, that still held the memory, that complex genetic blueprint to spring back to life. That's a kind of biological memory that can span millennia. So you have to ask, right? If plants can remember, it just begs this profound question. What can they learn? where does this ability to adapt and respond to their experiences truly end? The main thing to take away from all this is that the green world all around us is anything but passive. It's a dynamic stage. Life is actively sensing, communicating, collaborating, and strategizing. Plants aren't just the scenery. They are major players, shaping their own existence. Which leaves us with just one last thought to chew on. The next time you walk through a forest, or even just glance at a houseplant, remember that there's this secret, complex life unfolding right in front of you. And it really makes you wonder, if we're only just now starting to understand their language, what else are they trying to tell us?